This video contains highly mystical aspects, dimensions, energies, all of the above, with efforts to demystify the mystical. Still, viewers' discretion is advised. Hey all, hey y'all, hey all, hey y'all. Welcome to this Oneness Connection Energetic Upliftment Transmission. My name is Ashley-Nicole Phillips. I am the biblically prophesied Messiah. Full circle moment, alert, alert. So are you. Well, Ashley, what I have in me, you have in you. What you have in you, I have in me. We are dimensions, frequencies, facets, authentic dimensions, frequencies, aspects of the oneness of all things, most readily termed as God, here in our realm of reality. Within Oneness Connection Energetic Upliftment, we learn from the spirit, we heal all of the things. I channel, so transcendentally with my eyes closed, as well as when I'm speaking, is spirit, the oneness of all things, soul, the Akashic record, my soul, my Akashic record, moving through me to channel in healing, uplifting energies, wisdoms, vibrations, to help us during this time, which brings me to the Kingdom Things podcast. I also channel energies and messages and prophecies within my podcast, Kingdom Things Podcast with Ashley-Nicole Phillips, which is available to stream on YouTube as well as Spotify for free. It's linked below in the description of this Oneness Connection Energetic Upliftment Transmission. Brings us to this Kingdom Things Podcast 2033 Prophecy. By the year 2033, we will be in the streams of energies, genome activation, DNA activation to understand consciousness expansion, genome DNA activation, consciousness expansion, a symbiotic relationship. We will be in the energies of genome activation, consciousness expansion, DNA activation, to understand that we are a human culture of planet Earth with no disease, no death, no war, no famine, world peace, no poverty. As disease, death, war, famine, poverty were all manifestations of our gestational phase of the makings of us. The divine, the oneness of all things, divine wisdom's chakra states that, channel from my soul space, whenever creation needs something to continue to grow and evolve, it naturally produces it. We are natural productions. Every individual human is a natural production of nature's curiosity and natural disposition to grow and evolve. Humanity is a manifestation of creation's natural disposition to grow and evolve. Our gestational phase, everything we experience as individual humans and as a collective, is a product of creation's natural disposition to grow and evolve. Our gestational phase, where we became out of alignment with universal frequencies, energies, and perceived ourselves as individuals or lone aspects in the expansive reality called infinite creation or God or the Most High White Light Energy Creator. We are awakening to the fact that we've never been alone. We've just been in a bandwidth of energetic operations, which calcified us at the heart space, at the DNA space, at the genome space, where we only operated out of 6 to 9% of our DNA, because we were operating within frequential patternings of lower, denser vibrations, where our DNA could only function at 6 to 9%, where our consciousness perceived that we were alone in the expansiveness of all things. Which brings me to the human dharmic purpose. The opposite is true. The opposite is the truth. The human dharmic purpose. What is the human dharmic purpose, Ashley? I channel from my soul space to the oneness of all things. That whenever I channel from my soul space to the oneness of all things. My soul space, the oneness of all things, and you truly have 0 degrees of separation. I channeled that the human dharmic purpose is to be limitless potentials in the physical. The perception that we are forever expanded, forever growing, which is, baby, what this Oneness Connection Energetic Upliftment Powwow session is about, okay? We are limitless potentials in the tangible. Our task, our divine purpose is to journey our lives in an inquisitive way. Hermes Trismegistus, principle of correspondence, universal principle of correspondence, as below, so above. Everything in our reality is a projection of the energy we hold. Journeying our lives in an inquisitive way where we're learning from ourselves, learning about ourselves, from ourselves. Why? Because our reality is a mirror of us. Hey, soul, what is this supposed to teach me about myself? I have this in my reality. What is this supposed to teach me about myself? Which brings me to our call to action. Sit with yourself for at least 30 minutes a day, every day. Ask yourself, hey, self, what is it that I need to know about myself? Hey, soul, what is it that I need to know about myself in order for me to align with the energies, vibrations of more of my limitless, most abundant God, Goddess, co-creator abilities? We are dimensions of the divine. We are gods and goddesses of our own right, in the way that as we journey our realities to be in alignment with our limitless potentials, we're able to master ourselves, master our energies, and understand that everything in our reality, including ourselves, is a manifestation of the vibrations that we carry and the thought patterns in which we focus on. So we're asking ourselves, hey, what do I need to know about myself to begin to embody the energies of our most abundant potentials and create what we intended to manifest or create on a soul level before we incarnated, or in our God, Goddess perception, our omnipotent, limitless perception. The oneness of all things, the Most High wants to see, what do we create? What does humanity manifest? What do we create with aligning with our limitless, most abundant potentials in our human incarnation? I channeled a pretty cool dissertation in regards to this, the symbiotic relationship between our perception of limitation, or our perception of self or authenticity, and our limitless potentials, and how they work together to manifest our beingness. I'll link that below. It's the Kingdom Things podcast installment titled The Death Paradigm Transcended. I'll link this Kingdom Things podcast transmission below in the description of this video. All right, y'all, we're gonna learn together today. We're gonna learn together today. I just have a few modalities that we're gonna use for Spirit to speak through us, to us, to scry or catch your own revelation. Because, you know, whatever we perceive in reality is meant to mean what you perceive it to mean. I channeled there are infinite ways to perceive reality, and there are infinite number of energies to perceive. There are infinite number of energies to perceive, and an infinite number of ways to perceive reality. So there's no right or wrong. There's just however the universe or you were relating with yourself to perceive what you need to perceive in order to grow and evolve into more of your limitless potentials. So we about to learn together, because I caught a few downloads and my soul was like, hey, Ashley, do a transmission. I'm like, okay. And the soul is like, the oneness of all things, like we're all learning together in this space. You know, the universal forces are channeling through myself for all of humanity and the universe, all things to learn together in this space. Which is pretty exciting. It's about our genome activation and how it's, baby, I'm just gonna be open to however this transmission wants to come through. Let's start with the Rumi Oracle card. We're gonna pull a Rumi Oracle card. Upside down. We're gonna pull an Oracle card. Alana Fairchild Rumi Oracle Pocket Edition, an invitation to the heart of the divine. Artwork by Razuli. We're gonna pull a card. We'll just pull one card, read the message, look at the artwork, and then we're going to go ahead and roll into a Kingdom Things podcast installment. I've been guided to include 2 Kingdom Things podcast installments in this transmission. One of them was when God informed me that I was the biblically prophesied Messiah, and I did a transmission about it, right? And I'm going to link the episode below in the description. And then I'm going to link 144 part 1, part 2. The divine unconditional love was like, hey, Ashley, I'm going to go ahead and get into it right now. We are the epoch energy. And the unconditional love, the epoch energy, unconditional love channeled through me in the Kingdom Things podcast installment 144 part 1. And the epoch unconditional love, or the new creator God energy, limitless potential energy, which is bringing limitless potential to all dimensions of God's creation, including ours, including our dimension, being, God. We perceive it as God in the physical, or being limitless potentials in our tangible realm of reality. This new creator energy, epoch energy channeled through myself. Ashley's my messenger, but y'all all are. Y'all are all the biblically prophesied Messiah. Hey y'all. You're most likely watching this live Kingdom Things podcast live episode, streaming on Twitch at Kingdom Things podcast on Twitch at a later time. And this is more than okay. This is beautiful, as time truly is elusive and fluid. whenever you view this podcast, there is a message in here, an energy in here for you. I hope that you consciously, if not consciously, subconsciously receive whatever energy and messages and or message in which your soul, God, has led you here to partake in. My name is Ashley-Nicole Phillips, and I usually say I am a channel for the Most High White Light Creator. And this is true, as we are not one facet, we are not one-dimensional. We are many facets, we are many dimensionals, as we are mirrors or emblems of the representation in which we know as God, or our Creator, or the infinite creation's Creator, or all of what is Creator. We have many dimensions to us. We have many dimensions to us, including myself. Hello. So I am a channel for the Most High White Light Creator energy. I am also the biblically prophesied Messiah. I am the channel for the Most High White Light Creator energy, as well as I am the biblically prophesied Messiah. That is to return and speak the words of God in order to assist with uplifting our creation. I'm being guided to speak about myself. Before I do that, I want to say that our roles and the things we do in our lives and the titles in which we take on in our lives are not the beginning or the end of who we are and our truths. Our roles, the things we take on as our identities, our titles in our lives are not the beginning or the end of our truths. Our roles or the identities, titles in which we take on in our lives are not the beginning or the end of our truths. Now, Messiah, the messenger, God's messenger, that is a dimension of who I am, and I own that. I take accountability for that, as God has led me to, with the understanding that in order for me to be my fullness, to feel the love in which God promised me at a young age, I have to be that love in and of myself. I can only be this love in and of myself if I honor and acknowledge and take accountability for all of the dimensions in which I find in and of myself. I tried to pass the buck, I tried to push this away, but God is like, this is you. Only you can do this. You have to do this. And I'm grateful. I'm grateful that God, my ancestors, the Most High White Light Creator energy, my angelic guides, spirit guides, whom are only dimensions and aspects of myself, pushed me and are here on my journey with me. We're journeying together. We're journeying together. We're journeying together to ensure that creation, or God, is a more cohesive, more united space in creation. Creation or life, God is a story. As our Bibles and our biblical texts are stories, God is a story. And God cultivates and customizes each of its creations to play a role, a part in the story. Just as you, every single person, every single human being in creation, every single person, every single human being whom has ever been in creation, who will ever be in creation, has a specific role to play, a specific part to play in God's creation. How do we realize and wield the power of our truest truths? How do we utilize, how do we realize the role in which God intended for us to participate in, partake in its creation, or in the creation of God in the span of what is? We go within. My journey started, it's notated in the Kingdom Things podcast, but being guided to speak about the Pleiadians. Dear human beings, we are star beings. We are star beings. We are star beings, as we are beings who reside on a planetary body in the space of creation in which we call the universe or outer space. We are star beings. Not only are we star beings, but we are star beings whose creation comes from the culmination of our ancestors, our galactic ancestors, whom many we are aware of or we know of, and many whom are far and few in between that have partaken in our creation. I'm trying to understand why I was guided to use the terms, the diction, far and few in between. Our divinity, our angelic essence, our God essence was seated by the Pleiadians of the Pleiades star system. And the Pleiadians of the Pleiades star system are who assisted me with activating further into my angelic presence, or my God, goddess essence, or my sainthood. Oh, wow. I'm getting a download, bear with me. A new download, bear with me. Oh, wow. Much of God's creation is that of the darkness, or that of evil, what we would term as evil. I'm going to define evil as not having the understanding or the connection to its divine essence, not having the understanding that it is of the divine, not having the understanding that it's connected to the divine. Most of God's creation, most of God's creation is that of evil or of the darkness, as it has no clue as to the space in which it dwells in is a dimension or aspect of a much higher power, the higher power in which we call God. Holy. Full circle moment alert. The full circle moment alert. The Pleiadians seated the human beings of planet Earth with its divinity, or the knowledge of the universe, knowledge of the divine, knowledge that it is of a dimension and aspect of the Most High Creator, or God. Now we took these knowledges and these understandings and we created our own cultures. We took these knowledges and understandings in which the Pleiadians seated in the genome of the human being, the understanding of its divinity, the light of God, the Most High Creator, the Most High White Light Energy Creator. We took this seeding that the Pleiadians of the Pleiades seated within us and created our own cultures. Dearest human beings of planet Earth, much of creation has no clue that it is a part of a much grander scale of creation that co-creates together. Much of God's creation, just like much of the planet, is in the darkness or does not know, is not connected to the understanding that we are a part of a much larger creation that co-creates within the creation called God. I'm going to say that one more time. Much of God's creation, just as much as planet Earth, the beings of planet Earth, are not aware of the understanding that we are connected to a much larger scale of creation, a much grander creation, co-creation, in which we are to participate in which we call God. And this lack of understanding to our connection to this grander scale of creation, of co-creation, is what we call the devil, or the darkness, or hell. Much of God's creation dwells within hell. Why? Because much of God's creation doesn't understand, isn't aligned with the understanding and operating out of the understanding that we are connected to a grander creation, co-creation, in which we are all to align with our inner divinity, our inner God, goddess essence, in order for us to operate on our highest timeline of existence. On our highest timeline of existence are the understandings and the energies for us to embody the role, the dimensionality in which God intended for us to embody in order for us to co-create within God's grand creation, to help and assist with expanding and uplifting God's grand creation versus our own bubbles of reality. Living to assist with the expansion of all of creation versus our own bubbles of reality. I said full circle moment as I was catalyzed into my spiritual awakening, to align to my divinity, to align to my sainthood, to align to my goddess essence, to align with the role that God had waiting for me on my highest timeline, a role in which I am to be God's messenger, speak words and understandings and energies and wisdoms that no other human being will be privy to until I speak them, until I permeate them into our reality. My journey to getting to this position where I can own my role, my position of being God's messenger, the Messiah, as biblically prophesied, started in the dark. I was in hell. I wasn't connected. I wasn't conscious. I had dissonance with the understanding that I was of God, that I was created by a God whom had a particular role, a particular mission for me to be in, to love in, to expand in, to grow into, to grow beyond, in order to assist with the co-creation and the upliftment of the creation in which we call God. As I get into alignment with my understandings of who I am, the rest of the world is going to be ushered into alignment of the understandings of who they are. And this is part of what curtailed me from owning who I am, who God says I am. A dimension of who I am, a dimension of who God says I am, because I am many things, as we all are many things. What curtailed me from owning this was the understanding that all of humanity, all of creation, all of God's creation would be ushered into aligning with their highest potentials, or aligning with the role in which God specifically curated for each being of creation, each dimension of creation, of God's creation. It's a big responsibility. That's a big responsibility. And I could say, don't look to me to tell you who you are. I don't want you to. God doesn't want you to. You have to go within to realize your truth. You have to go within to realize your truth, because your truth is part of your making, as your truth is in your DNA. And no one else can tell you about yourself but you and God. I want to thank you so much for joining me on this Kingdom Things podcast installment. Again, my name is Ashley-Nicole Phillips, and I am not only a channel for the divine, I am the biblically prophesied Messiah, as well as I am love. I am unconditional love. I am the understanding that everything that has transpired in my reality and creation was only for the upliftment and the betterment of myself, to assist with the upliftment and the betterment of all of creation. Mashallah. May it be God's will. I love you. Love on yourself. Self-love is the best love, because you have to love yourself in the way in which you want your reality to love you back. Self-love is the best love, because the way we love on ourselves is the way to realizing the truest truths that are seated within us. Self-love is the best love, because you are love, and your truest truths, give it to yourself first. Bye. But y'all all are. Y'all are all the biblically prophesied Messiah. Go inside of yourself. strengthen the relationship with yourself in order to come into a greater, more intimate relationship with yourself or the divine or your limitless nature, to be more of your limitless nature, to manifest a reality that reflects more of your limitless nature, or what you intended to create on a God level before you incarnated. Before we incarnated. We're going to go ahead and get into a piece of my song. I'm guided to go ahead and flow into the song. I'm a singer-songwriter. Ashley-Nicole music is available to stream on YouTube. My music is extremely healing, and it's truly prophecy, because the divine universal forces speak through me, through my music, to co-create wellness. So we're going to roll into this song. It is called Mother and Father, David Kingdom. There's a Spanish version, Madre y Padre, on Epoch the album. This version is on Agape the album, Ashley-Nicole music on YouTube. In the playlist section, you'll see the different albums. Let's roll into a piece of the song.
Mother and father sing, come home. You are the master. You are mother and father. Mother and father. The wind chimes in your energy sea. The wind chimes in your energy ring, sounding like mother and father. You are looking like mother and father. You are being like mother and father. You are the Most High, mother and father. You are mother and father. Dear surface creature, mother and father. Life is greener from the inside. You are your energies to collide. Left in mother and father. The wind chimes in your energy sea. Mother and father, the wind chimes in your energy. You are the master, mother and father. You are mother and father. Looking like mother and father. You are chimes in your energy sea. Being like mother and chimes in your energy ring. You are sounding like Most High, mother and father. You are mother and father. Looking like mother and father. Dear surface creature, you are. Life is greener from the mother and father. Allow your energies to collide. Most High, left and you are mother and father. Dear surface creatures, life is greener from the inside. Allow your energies to collide. Left and right.
That was Mother and Father from we went ahead and played the whole song, being guided to play the whole song. That was Mother and Father, David Kingdom, from the album Agape, the album. Ashley-Nicole music is available to stream on YouTube, so you can stream that song on YouTube. It is also linked below. Stream this song on YouTube. It's also linked below. Hope it's healing and activating to your soul to perceive more of your limitless oneness nature. All right, cool. So let's just go ahead and pull the card from the bottom or the top. We'll get the card from the top. It's very synchronistic. So we have the picture here. So I'm going to channel, So I was just speaking with the divine, universal forces. Let's go ahead and read the card first. Let's read the card first. Cosmic heart. I have seen everything. I have no fear. I have the heart of a lion. I shine like Venus. For life to work out with perfect synchronicity and generous grace, there is nothing you need to understand. You have been asked to bear darkness without losing hope for the return of light. Here you are, still loving, still wise, ready for a love that is bigger than you have ever experienced. So the divine, I was just speaking with universal forces, the divine, and I was speaking to the divine, and the divine was like, you know, Ashley, the Big Bang, you know, the Big Bang Theory, we perceive existence coming to existence from one Big Bang that happened like at one space and time. The divine was like, and I channeled this before in the podcast. When I find the episode, I'll find it, and baby, I'll come back and link it below. I channeled within the Kingdom Things podcast, because I have audio style podcasts where I'm living life, and I'll record voice notes, and that I'll make that a podcast. When I channeled this before, it was a voice note in one of the longer form Kingdom Things podcasts. So I don't quite remember which installment it's in, but I channeled before the divine was like, the Big Bang Theory, the epoch, new energy, it's happening every moment. In every moment, there's a new beginning. There's a new Big Bang in every moment of existence. So the Big Bang, it's not about waiting for something to happen. It's not about waiting for, it's not about waiting for something to happen. It's an every now moment, understanding, coming to the heart center, understanding our power to co-create every moment of reality, and not about waiting for anything to happen. Right? Which brings us to what we're about to talk about. Genome. All right, I'm being guided to go ahead, and we're gonna go ahead and roll into the Kingdom Things podcast. There's no problem with it, but baby, I'm following instructions. This is so new to me. Like, literally, the universe is just moving through me to orchestrate this class, this powwow session, this oneness connection, energetic upliftment session, video transmission. So we're actually gonna go ahead and roll into, because I don't like to seem unprofessional. I don't like to seem like I don't know what I'm doing, and that's a human thing. We don't like to seem like we don't know what we're doing, but the truth is we don't. We can act like it. And when we act like we know what we're doing, we're just sticking to those stagnant energies of belief or limitation. So right now I'm being open to expand into more of my limitless nature, following my internal guidance. Right now we're going to roll into Kingdom Things podcast meetup, where I channel Lord Hilarion. It was actually one of the first channels that I channeled within Kingdom Things podcast. I'm going to share y'all a bit about myself before we roll into it. I was catalyzed onto my spiritual awakening journey back in really 2018. I made the decision. When I was 9 years old, my soul showed me who my husband would be. I'm on the twin flame divine counterpart journey home, which is a journey to your most evolving, following your heart space to evolve and be your most authentic frequency, or your God guided self. Which when you do that, you manifest your counterpart in your physical reality. So I'm on the divine counterpart twin flame journey. When I was 9 years old, am I in union? Yes, because I'm in union with the universe. I'm in union with the oneness of all things. And it's getting out of our strict paradigms of belief. You might think like, oh, you're doing something wrong because you're not in physical union with your twin. I have an understanding, baby, there's an orchestration going on, a universal orchestration going on well beyond of what I'm aware of. So it's about being patient and about understanding you're always where you're supposed to be when you're supposed to be there. And we're never lacking anything. We are one with the oneness of all things. Whenever my twin's supposed to show up in the physical reality, he's shown up will, and I know it'll be divinely aligned for the upliftment of all things, right? So am I in physical union? Technically, yes, because we know who we are. We know who each other is. So shit, we're in union. We're in union. It's not like we don't know. We're just roaming around the planet and we don't know who our person is. We know who each other is. We know who each other are. When I was 9 years old, my soul, one more time actually, it's not like we're roaming around the planet and we don't know our purpose. We don't know who our person is. Like God identified the divine in our heart space, our soul, our authentic frequency, said that's your person. Him, the divine said that to him about me, and the divine said that to me about him. So I know that that's my person. We have limiting beliefs that create contrast to create evolution, where we move from the heart space into the head, and we allow doubt to stagnate manifestations, right? Or miraculous manifestations. And that's all a part of evolution. But sticking in my heart space, yeah, we are in union, right? Anything that God's manifesting, you have to surrender it to the divine. You can't move into your headspace and think you can figure it out for God, because that's not how the divine works. Because whenever the divine's creating, is to uplift limitless infinite potentials. So if we move to our headspace as humans and think, oh, I can figure this out, there's no way for us to factor in infinite dimensions, to uplift infinite dimensions with our decision. That's why it's important for us to move from our heart space and follow our heart space to align with universal evolution, or the oneness of all things, or our most authentic frequencies. I was catalyzed to my spiritual awakening journey in 2018, truly. When I was 9 years old, my soul was like, hey, Ashley. When I was 9 years old, my soul was like, hey, Ashley, this is your person. And I was like, oh my gosh, wow. He was a child actor, so I was watching TV. And I felt in my soul space. My soul was like, you were remembering, Ashley. I was like, oh, cool. So I was just watching TV one night. My soul was like, that's going to be your husband. So I said out loud, this is going to be my husband. Fast forward, I held that in my heart space all my life. I incanted it. I professed it all my life. And from when I was 9 years old to 2018, 9 to like 24 years old, when I was 24, my soul, I'm following I tell my story many times. And I'll actually link below. It's the most concise way for me to share my story. Content where I share my story. Ashley-Nicole Music, I did a Goddess Things, the EP. I did an album EP called Goddess Things, and I did a story time to share my story, the story of my evolution. I'll link this below where I tell my whole story, right? In more detail about, my journey from 9 years old to 24. So 24 years old, my soul was like, hey, Ashley, go celibate, and we're going to bring your twin flame in. And in 2018, my soul was like, hey, Ashley, go celibate, we're going to bring your twin flame in. I was like, oh, okay, cool. And truly, I really wanted to wait to have sex until I got married. That was placed heavily on my heart. And I had so much like resentment and anger and shame about it internally, and fear about it internally, because my soul was like, hey, I should wait till marriage. And I do shadow work. Shadow work is when I go inside and I ask my soul, like, why did this happen? What is this supposed to teach me about myself? And my soul, the divine, was like, hey, Ashley, there's things that you have to experience to remember how this reality works, to remember how the energies in this reality works. So that's why you've had the very, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't make me more of a person or less of a person in regards to how many sexual partners I've had. If I had more or less, it doesn't make me more or less of who I am. But I've had very little. I can count on one hand and have fingers, plural, left, right? It doesn't make me more or less of a person. It's something that I'm proud of, because it was placed heavily on my heart. Hey, Ashley, wait till marriage to have sex. And then the soul was like, we needed you to experience some things so you can know how the energy dynamics of this reality works. So when you stepped in your divine purpose, you would be more mastered and remembered in how this reality works and how creation works. So 2018, my soul was like, hey, Ashley, go celibate. We're going to bring a divine counterpart in. I said, done, check, did it, flip it, baby. Still to this day, what is it, 2025, I'm still celibate, right? And that whole time, 9 months later, 10 months later, after my soul said, go sell it, 10 months later, my soul was like, hey, message him on Instagram. I did, and that's when we came into contact, conscious awareness, and journeying our understanding that this is a God orchestration, right? And coming into greater alignment with our soul's intentions or our limitless potentials, right? So all this time from 2018 to present day, I've evolved so much and aligned so much with my multidimensional limitless nature, and being able, and God's like, hey, Ashley, remembering who you are, awakening to your spiritual understandings of yourself, it doesn't mean throwing away your humanism, because you need your humanism for the evolution of you, the makings of you, and your dharmic purpose. We all exist to help evolve human culture, and as we evolve human culture, we help evolve all things. So it's not about throwing away our humanism, but it's about coming into a greater, more wise understanding about why the dimensions of our humanism existed, to evolve ourselves into more, right? So I'm on this twin flame journey, catalyzed onto my spiritual awakening journey, and now I'm here. God was like, hey, Ashley, if you want to come into union with your twin in the physical world and, you know, co-create the family that I seated in your heart of so much abundant love and joy, you have to become everything that I created you to be. And that's how you get the Ashley that you see today in the Transmission, Kingdom Things podcast, One is Connection, my music, evolution, magic meals. We'll talk about it. I intuitively cook. I've been doing it all my life. Magic meals with Ashley-Nicole Phillips. I share divine wisdoms, intuitively cook. Magic meals with Ashley-Nicole Phillips is available to stream on YouTube. It's linked below. And all the other ways in which I share my authentic frequency with the planet, my spiritual gifts with the planet. I just wanted to explain so y'all understood, like, that it's a journey, not a race. And existence is evolution. It's mastery. It's miraculous. It's God in practice. God in form. God in evolution. We are God in practice. God in form. God in evolution. Every dimension of creation. Every single human being. Let's roll into the Kingdom Things podcast meetup where we channel Lord Hilarion. Thank you, Lord Hilarion. And thank you, Divine Presence. Thank you for being here. Let's roll into the channel. We are in magnificent times. We are in magnificent times, times that have been foretold for millennia past the history of humanity even. We are in times that have been written in the stars, as these times are divinely aligned and synchronized with the energies of all of creation. Humanity, you are being opened, you are being activated into the extended reality, extended family of divine creation. We have always been here, although we have transcended the denser forms of our physical vessels, we have never left. I am ascended Master Lord Hilarion, channeling through Ashley. My presence has never left this planet, as I have been utilizing my own energy to assist with the elevation of humanity through many ways, through channeling energies through scientists, as well as humanitarians, as well as those who are dedicated to the elevation of our planet through the alignment of divine balance. Just as you are sentient, just as I am sentient, although I am not in a denser body, as you knew me when I incarnated in many lifetimes. The planet is also sentient. Dear humanity, you must take heed to this understanding that your planet is sentient. Your planet feels. Your planet does not evade the laws of the universe. Your planet does not evade or disrupt the laws of the universe. We reside in a realm of duality, polarity. And these dualities, polarities make up the whole. Humanity, we are in times in which you are awakening, activating to the wholeness of creation. The dimension, the realm in which you reside in which you call reality, is a small portion of reality. Just as your scientists cannot perceive 80% much of what is in the celestial realms, much of what resides in your skies, you do not perceive much of what resides right in front of you. The physicality of your reality is being broadened to include astral and etheric embodiments, and which much of you are receiving on many levels. And you feel as though you are alone in your expanded perceptions, but you are not. Much of humanity is undergoing the changes, and all of humanity will eventually undergo the change into the broadening of what reality is. Much love to humanity. Much love to all of infinite creation. I pray as this message reaches your ears, you not only resonate in your heart with what is being channeled, but I pray that you also feel the energies that can assist you in your life, assist you in uplifting your life, in healing yourself, and aligning yourself with the expanded reality that humanity is being welcomed into. Again, my name is Ascended Master Lord Hilarion. Thank you, Ashley. Here, roll to the channel. All right, y'all. So we're awakening to our multidimensionality and like having the brain understand it. Let's bring our brains along, right? Let's bring our humanism along. There's parts of us that are logical and we need to understand it in black and we need to be able to read it on paper. It helps us. I don't say we need to be able to, but it helps us to be able to read it on paper. It helps us to be able to perceive what our soul is telling us, what we're hearing internally in our physical reality before it's a full-on fledged manifestation of our normal reality. So we're activating into actually, I've channeled, and I'll link it below. I channeled it in a Kingdom Things podcast short. I will link it below. I channeled that we are set for a 44% DNA activity template for the human being on planet Earth for our current phase of evolution. We're set to evolve into 44% DNA activity over the next 1 million years, right? So, and the way we perceive time is going to shift and change. Because some of y'all might know, baby, we're able to step outside of space and time to create things and step back in to bring those creations within our paradigm of perception or our paradigm of space and time or our physical realities. So the way we perceive time and mass is going to consciously change and shift. But for the paradigms that we perceive right now, 1 million years, we have a 44% DNA activity template. I told a false narrative in my last couple of transmissions because I said I have prophecy for the next 1,000 years, baby. 1 million. 1 million. Dang, that's wild. I forgot about that. But I didn't. I did forget, kind of. I forgot. So we have let me remind myself. Let's remind myself and share it with humanity. In the next 1 million years, we're set for 44% DNA activity evolutionary journey. Our perception of time and space is going to change and shift in mass. So the 1 million years is a tentative understanding for our paradigm of understanding, right? All right, so you're like, hey Ashley, we're in a mass spiritual awakening. Our DNA is activating, our genome's activating for us to perceive more of our limitless nature, to manifest a reality that reflects more of our limitless nature. The divine wants to see what we're going to create. We want to see what we create, right? Because we are one with the divine. We are the divine in practice, the divine in action, the divine in evolution. And there are infinite dimensions of the divine in practice and evolution simultaneously, while our dimensionalities are in practice and in evolution. Genome, y'all. So now we're finna get into the books, into some reading. We're on Wikipedia, right? So genome. A genome is all the genetic information of an organism. A genome is all the genetic information of an organism. It consists of nucleotide sequences of DNA or RNA in the RNA viruses. The nuclear genome includes protein coding, genes, and non-coding genes. Other functional regions of the genome, such as regulatory sequences. Let me stop and say, there are other future humans, and I'm going to link this correspondence below. I use my shamanistic soul gifts. We call it shamanism, but I use my spiritual gifts to connect multidimensionally, garner wisdoms and evolution for myself. And as I evolve, it helps evolve all of humankind. As you evolve, it helps evolve all of humankind. As every person evolves, it helps evolve all of humankind. I use my spiritual gifts to connect to other dimensions of creation. And I channeled future humans, and they're like, y'all, like, you can trust y'all science, because truly y'all get it from us. Y'all are channeling from other future humans, and y'all are doing really well in your scientific evolutionary understandings. So I just had to say this. Okay, so let's read it from the top. A genome is all the genetic information of an organism. It consists of nucleotide sequences of DNA or RNA and RNA viruses. The nuclear genome... let me breathe real quick. There's energies inside of me that are like, whoa. Let me breathe. Okay, let's breathe, y'all. The nuclear genome includes protein coding, genes, and non-coding genes. Other functional regions of the genome, such as regulatory sequences, see non-coding DNA, and often the nuclear genome includes protein coding, genes, and non-coding genes. Other functional regions of the genome, such as regulatory sequences, see non-coding DNA, and often a substantial fraction of junk DNA with no evident function. Almost all I can literally pronounce, I know I can pronounce this word. Eukaryotes, yes. Almost all eukaryotes have mitochondria and a small mitochondrial genome. Algae and plants also contain chloroplasts with a chloroplast genome. The study of genome is called genomics. The genomes of many organisms have sequenced, and various regions have been annotated. The first genome to be sequenced was that of the virus. I feel like that's the alpha symbol, but I'm not sure, baby. Don't quote me. Of the virus X in 1977. The first genome sequence of a prokaryote was published in 1995. The yeast genome was the first eukaryotic genome to be sequenced in 1996. That was right. The first, I'm like a stickler for pronouncing things. We're in science class right now, so it's like I'm compassionate with myself. That was the correct pronunciation. The yeast genome was the first eukaryotic genome to be sequenced in 1996. The Human Genome Project was started in October 1990, and the first draft sequences of the human genome were reported in February 2001. Right? So this is extremely significant, right? So I read that. We read that, and let me read this part right here. And there goes Hazel at the door. Give me a second, y'all. Give me 1 second. Let me let Hazel in. Hazel doesn't know what she wants to say, in the room or out the room. Okay, so that was significant. So we have that right? Genome, understanding the genome. And then I read this, and I got a download. A genome is, a genome is all the genetic information of an organism. It consists of nucleotide sequences of DNA. The nuclear genome includes protein coding genes and non-coding genes. Other functional regions of the genome, such as the regulatory sequence, and often a substantial fraction of the junk DNA with no evidence. I got a download, right? Basically, thank you for joining. Basically, well, give me a second, y'all, because this energy's breaking off in me. Give me a second. All right, y'all, I'm being guided to look up the definition of eukaryote. This energy is breaking off in me. I have to stop and ask myself, what is this energy supposed to teach me about myself? I stopped and asked, what is this energy supposed to teach me about myself that I'm feeling the influx of energy so in my body? What is it supposed to teach me about myself? I was guided to look up the definition of eukaryote. A eukaryote is an organism whose cells contain a nucleus and other membrane-bound organelles, meaning the genetic material, DNA, is enclosed within a distinct nucleus, and the cell has specialized structures called organelles that perform specific functions. Examples of eukaryote. Whoa, shoot. Oh, y'all, I'm getting a big download. Examples of eukaryote. Okay, let me just stop and say the download. You know the principle of correspondence as below, universal principle of correspondence as below, so above. Everything in our reality is a projection of the inside, right? So you know how our external reality we perceive we perceive in a separation consciousness or survival consciousness or a very individualistic consciousness where we perceive ourselves as different from each other. When we see each other in the past, when we see each other, we don't. The first thing our operating system is looking for isn't how we're the same. The first thing we're noticing is not how we're the same, right? Because we truly are one energy. We're in this human, baby, evolutionary status reality where we're coming out of survival mode. We're coming out of we're being birthed out of the gestational sac. Baby, all of us baby, if you're watching this video, you've been alive since we forgot who we were in mass. Right now we're awakening in mass to the fact that we're one in the creation called God. So we're actively birthing out of the illusion of separation from ourselves, from God, from the infinite expansiveness of all things. Because you can go outside of yourself and meditate and connect to the whole universe and download wisdoms to share with the planet. Hi, and all of us can do it. We all were created to, right? So I just got a download. So how we're coming out of this individualistic mindset that kept us in this dense realm of reality, where we only perceived a minute perception of self. So we only operated out of like 6 to 9% of our DNA, and we call the rest of the DNA junk DNA. Why? Because we're in this dense vibrational energy. Eukaryotes. An organism whose cell contains a nucleus and other membrane-bound organelles, meaning the genetic material. I'm going to go back and, baby, we're going to figure out how to pronounce Ganelles. I think it's Janelles. A eukaryote is an organism whose cells contain a nucleus and other membrane-bound organelles, meaning the genetic material, DNA, is enclosed within a distinct nucleus, and the cell has specialized structures called organelles that perform specific functions. Baby, what does that sound like? What does that diction sound like? Enclosed within a distinct nucleus with specialized structures for specific functions. Doesn't that sound like separation? Doesn't that sound like everything's not working in flow and in tandem? Doesn't that sound like our bodies are fragmented? Doesn't that sound like our operating system is fragmented? Our DNA has been fragmented, and that's why it hasn't been ignited to operate in the 44%, less known 100% operation. Our DNA was fucking fragmented, and that's what we're channeling. Excuse me, universe. I'm excited. I didn't say that to be aggressive. I'm excited. Our DNA was fragmented. Why are you excited, Ashley? Because I know when I'm able to communicate with the universe and perceive new lessons about myself, I can be the remedy for whatever the imbalance is. I create the balance or the remedy within myself to emit the energy of the remedy. Our DNA was fragmented. That's why we perceived enclosed, distinct, specialized, functioning dimensions of our DNA instead of a well-orchestrated, well-functioning operation system operating at 100%, saying, whoa, this system, it does so many things. It does infinite things. How does it work? At this point, perceiving a 100% DNA operation human, and seeing everything that the 100% DNA produces, the limitless nature of everything that 100% DNA produces, we don't care how the small parts work together. Truly. We're like, dang, look at all that it creates. We're looking at everything that it projects. We're looking at everything it manifests. We're looking at all the functioning parts that it creates. We're not so much worried about the individualism. We are more compelled to learn through what the unity creates. We were working out of a fragmented DNA because of a loss of remembrance or a lowering of our vibrational frequency. We are vibration. The higher the vibration, the faster the motion, the more information that's contained in that vibrational frequency. The more information that's contained in that vibrational frequency. We lost the remembrance of who we are because we fell in vibrational frequency, which is all a part of creation. Let's not be upset about it. And any anger anything that we feel, let's drop into our heart space and say, what is this supposed to teach me about myself? Why, Ashley? Universal principle of rhythm. Creation creates in ups and downs. Why do we evolve and de-evolve, evolve and de-evolve? Because that's how creation creates. In rhythm, ups and downs. The universe creates in ups and downs to garner new wisdoms and understandings from evolution. As we're going up and down, we're also going round and round at new levels to learn and grow from ourselves or the makings of us or our ancestry or our DNA. For funsies, y'all, we're going to end this off with an episode of Asya's Story, the animated series, which stems from my literature, the Unconditional Love Literature Parcel. The Unconditional Love Literature Parcel is a 3-part book series. The first 2 parts are Asya's story. Asya is a teenage girl growing up in the New York City foster care system. She's catalyzed onto her spiritual awakening journey when she meets her twin flame Chase in the hallway of her school at Manhattan Prep. She goes through a lot of existential crises, which assist her with reminding her who she is in her existential nature or her limitless nature, or what she goes through ups and downs to remember her into her limitless nature, or to raise her vibration. So she operates out of more of her soul, her spirit. The 3rd part of the Unconditional Love Literature Parcel is my other half, y'all. It is about the twin flame divine counterpart journey home to God inside, or your authentic frequency. The book is Prophecy, y'all. It's 4 different love. I'm not gonna give all the tea, but it's 4 different love stories in here. It's so beautiful and powerful and impactful. 1 soul, 2 bodies, many lifetimes on planet Earth. They know they're supposed to co-create a love and a life together. Each lifetime, the laws of the land, the consciousness expansion says that their love can't work. They will co-create a love and a life together. Which love, which life, under which circumstance. The book is prophetic. The animated series that we're about to roll into, Asya's Story, comes from the Unconditional Love Literature Parcel. The Unconditional Love Literature Parcel is available to purchase in the Amazon bookstore. If you're doing physical, the first 2 parts, Asya's Story, is its own binding, and the 3rd part, my other half, is its own binding. So 2 books, 2 bindings if you're doing physical, $29.98 plus tax. If you're doing digital, all 3 parts are digital, $29.97 plus tax. Asya's Story, the animated series, is available to stream AP Short Stories on YouTube, link below. Before we roll into the Asya's animated series episode, it's from Asya, the season titled, or the playlist season titled Asya Takes Italy. The episode title, let's pull it up, y'all. What episode we dipping into? Because I was guided to put a lot of material in here that I've channeled for us to scry or to catch our own divine revelation on whatever, the universal energies and divine wisdoms are trying to, tell each of us. Because, again, we all perceive reality in a unique way. So this Asya's animated series, Asya's Story episode is titled It's titled Beach and Boys. Asya animated series Beach and Boys is the episode we're going to roll into. This was a beautiful learning experience, powwow session. Within powwow sessions, I channel specific energies and messages from your soul or the oneness of all things. Dimensions that you're more limitless limitless dimension of self wants you to perceive, to break out of the karmic knots or raise up your ancestry or your soul or your infinite nature to align with the perception of your more limitless nature. I do offer private individual Powwow sessions where I channel a dissertation. I type up a dissertation packed with energies and messages that your soul wants you to experience. You are able to book your own personal Powwow session below in the Kingdom Things Podcast Healing Home Portal. We talked about my other content. We learned some beautiful things. We had a beautiful brand new experience together. Y'all. Thank you for joining this Oneness Connection Energetic Upliftment Transmission. My name is Ashley-Nicole Phillips. I love you. Love on yourself. Self-love is the best love because you have to love yourself in the way in which you want your reality to love you back. Self-love is the best love because you are loving your truth. Give that love to yourself first. Self-love is the best love because it helps you evolve into more of your limitless nature. Helps you perceive and embody more of your limitless nature to project, co-create a reality that reflects more of your limitless nature. I'm going to see y'all later. Bye.
Hey, my name is Asya, and I am an interdimensional being. I know. I just found out myself. Everything that I thought was my truth was a lie. I chose to continue this life because of the one thing that I know isn't a lie. Love.
First airplane ride? Haha, you know it is. Relax. Don't make it so obvious. Soon enough, we will be in Italy, coasting it up with plates of pasta, al dente, cannolis, and Italian boys.
With service from New York City to
Well,
Veronica.
pasta and cannolis sound nice.
And are expected to be in the air approximately 12 hours and 20 minutes. We ask that you please fasten your seatbelts at this time and secure all baggage underneath your seat.
Beach and boys, thanks again for inviting me. I needed a break from the city. Yeah, sure. If I'm going to sit beachside in Italy, it's going to be with my bestie. Thanks for coming, Asya. Chase called me before we left. Whoa, really? What did you guys talk about?
He told me he was going back to LA to finish out the school year.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. How are you feeling, Asya?
I don't know. I've never felt these feelings before.
I'm sorry, Asya. Twin flames should present in your life with, warning, your life will be flipped upside down labels on our foreheads. Love on the brain? Yeah. Love and cannolis.
What is love? Is it a feeling? Is it an action? Is love even quantifiable? Love gurus feel like they have the answers, while dating apps purport that they have figured the formula. I just want to know why Chase has this effect on me. Meeting Chase has me questioning my very existence. Who am I? What is life? What is love? You might be wondering who the heck is Chase and what the heck is Asya and Alexi talking about. Well, Asya's animated series is a universe that stems from Asya's short story series. Coming Home, the Story of Asya, followed by The Story of Asya, I'm Home, is now available in the Amazon bookstore. It is a part of the Unconditional Love Literature Parcel, which is the 3-series set, 3 literature works that come together to amalgamate to assist with the bolstering of Asya's story in this reality. Go read the stories and you will understand what the heck is going on. I still hope you enjoy the animated series without reading the story, but go purchase the books. Go purchase the Unconditional Love Literature Parcel, available in the Amazon bookstore, and you'll understand. You'll be caught up with everything that's going on in Asya's animated series. Love you. Love on yourself. Peace.
Ciao, Bea.
Ciao. Hello.
You are American.
Yeah.
You are from Texas.
I'm from NYC.
Cool, son. Want to go get a bacon, egg, and cheese? I hope you like my shoes even though they aren't butters.
Wow. If Lorenzo is the official ambassador for Italian guys, I want to go home.
I am so sorry. You make me nervous. I don't normally act like that. Forgive me. Please. Your bare face, your bare aura.
Yeah. My friends are waiting for me. I should go.
I would like to see you again.
I should go.
I didn't get your name.
Ooh. Who are you talking to? An Italian boy? Girl, I don't know what that whole exchange was about. You okay? Yeah, you? I'm great. Good. I'm pretty sure there's a really great gelato shop nearby. Gelato? Yes, please. Let's go.
Mother and father sing.